Yo, what's going on, guys? Quick little video here talking about our boy Tim Connelly, the executive for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Came over from the Denver Nuggets. He's actually from where I'm from in Maryland, Towson. Well, I live in Phoenix, Jacksonville. Towson's like where all my boys lived in West Towson. His brother, Pat, I've met, played with a few. I used to work in like as a sous chef, and obviously I was like 18, 19, and everybody else was in their 30s. So a lot of the guys who did play sports actually played with them at Towson Catholic and with, Carmelo and stuff. But I digress. There was a worry that Mr. Tim Connelly could be on his way out, but no. Tim Connelly expected to extend with the Timberwolves. He was brought on by Alex Lore and Alex Rodriguez when they first took over the team. Sachin Gupta had been kind of like the bridge guy between Gerson Rosas and Tim Connelly. Gerson Rosas now with the Knicks, helping Leon Rose build that whole team over the last few years, which is crazy to think about. Then, like in retrospect, I never thought Gerson Rosas was a bad GM, but obviously the situation that arose. Now, let me read you what the report is. Minnesota Timberwolves president of basketball operation Tim Connelly has an opt-out for next season, and I believe he had one last year, but he opted in and pushed it for this coming year instead of having made the decision last year, because I think it was because of the arbitration. He wanted to see how that figured out before going forward. And I'm 99% sure part of the reason why he's going to stay here is they gave him team equity. If I recall, Tim Connelly has team equity in the Timberwolves, and we're Googling it real quickly to confirm. Yeah, so he was given a 5-year, $40 million deal that included team equity. The specific details of the equity stake haven't been fully publicized, but it is reported that he is a minority owner of the team, which means he probably gets like dividends of the profits. So that 5-year, $40 million deal that he initially signed in 2022 more than likely is paying him racks. So, and now that they own the team, why would he ever want to leave? It seemingly is a great situation for him. So most around the NBA expect Connelly to extend his run with the Minnesota Timberwolves with a new deal. Now that Marc Lore and Alex Rodriguez are set to become owners of the Timberwolves, the expectation is that they'll turn to keeping Connelly in charge of basketball operations. Mike, did I say Connelly? Tim Connelly. Did I start saying Mike Connelly? But either way, Tim Connelly was someone that they were afraid could get poached by the Atlanta Hawks or the Denver Nuggets. Connelly took over the Wolves, as we said, in 2022, May, and he coordinated the Rudy Gobert trade, and then he traded Karl-Anthony Towns this offseason. And I think, for me, he's done a great job. Like, I know someone's going to be like, this is what someone is going to say. And I think this is a great comment that someone put on Real GM from Kago, and he said that he would move on from him. Dude, the Wolves are the second highest spender in the NBA. They don't have much draft assets until 2030, and a lot of the players are up for extensions. Walker, Reed, Gobert, Connelly, Randall, and that's all going to demand higher salaries except for Mike Connelly. And if they don't win it this year, which is probably a little like chance that they do, the only other option is retooling the roster and trying to get back something in return and retooling around Ant. So they might have reached their peak with this roster, and they'll have to build a new core around Edwards. And obviously, it's not going to be a full rebuild because you don't want to have Edwards go. So in summary, he thinks it would be best to send Tim Connelly to pack his bags while his value is at an all-time high, and there's plenty of demand from fairly decent organizations. My one thing is like, who are you going to replace him with? He's done a pretty good job of building this roster and navigating through it. You're going to tell me you already think there's going to be someone who's as competent as he is at his job? No. It's going to be really hard. It's really hard to find executives like Tim Connelly. And that's my one thing. And the other thing is the job security being there. And the other thing is that you obviously have to hear that somebody could throw a shit ton of money at him. But no, I think the team equity part plays it. Like, he can just look, he's like, you gonna give me team equity? And he's probably has his family set up there. Unless the Wizards call. I'm kidding. It's not like he's gonna come home. Bye. I'm done. This is it. Ciao. Let's make it 5 minutes at least. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'd like to hear what you have to say.